Good evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here. And yes, I got this crew on, so we have to start it out with a station.
Station, that's right. You're outnumbered.
I don't mind. So, of course, you guys see who I got with me tonight. We have Stu, what was the first one in as my co-host tonight. Stu, great to see you again, buddy.
Oh, man, thank you for having me, dude. It's so good to be back.
We, of course, got the one and only Mr. Community himself, Fable, Station Fable.
You talking about yourself here?
I'm talking about you, good sir. Go for Fable in the comic book community awards, people.
Yes, man.
Yes.
And of course, we got Big Herm making his first appearance on the show. Someone I've wanted on the show for a while. So I reached out. He was gracious enough to come on. So thank you so much. But before we get going, guys, I just need to acknowledge the passing of Mr. James Earl Jones, who has always been an important actor in my life. And it's one of the ones where you feel it. You know what I mean? I was 12 years old at the drive-in watching Conan the Barbarian. Of course, he was in Star Wars before, but you didn't see his face in Star Wars. You saw his face as Thulsa Doom and Conan. And when he came on the screen as a little 12-year-old, you're like Conan's in trouble. He always had such presence.
He did.
The voice is unmistakable, and not only that, just a great human being. So we have to acknowledge James Earl Jones.
Absolutely.
Also for you, Herm, Nick's Kicks and Comics wanted to be here tonight to give you an introduction. He's been sick all week, so he wasn't able to make it. So we're wishing our good buddy Nick's Kicks and Comics well this evening. Get better fast, buddy. Your presence is always missed. You're one of our best. So, Herm, I just wanted you to know that Nick was thinking about you and he wanted to be here. He was just too sick to actually do it. But
it's all good. Hey, yo, just get better, man.
Exactly. Just get better, Nick. That's all we care about. All right. So before we go say hi to the chat, Herm, we like to let the guests give the quick 2 minutes of who they are, where you can be found. So give yourself your quick plug. We're going to make you big. And us three here are just going to go to our small little sidebars.
Well, I'm Big Herm, from Big Herm, the channel, Big Herm Collectibles. I'm a little bit nervous, so embrace. It's been a while since I've done a show, but in my channel, I like to do a show based on Spider-Man, the current Spider-Man run, the one that run no one wants to talk about. But me and my man Primetime Tom are going through the whole series and stuff like that, and that's pretty much what we've been doing lately on there. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man, Batman, comic books. You're gonna see some of the stuff I have here related to a lot of that stuff. You know what? I prepared for this and then I still got it wrong. I still can't.
There's no getting it wrong, Herm. You're good, buddy.
But yeah, I just, just like everybody else in this community, grew up with the community. Awesome community. My wife decided one day, it was my wife that always wanted me to go on YouTube. She wanted me to be a YouTube superstar or something like that. I was like, I don't know. She's like, you got the personality and stuff. And I was like, all right. So I finally got that done. And all the nerves aside, got my first show on this a little bit after the pandemic. Oh, I don't think we could say that. Can we say that?
No, you just can't say the C word.
Oh, okay.
I think you can say pandemic. You just can't say the other one.
Oh, okay. So
Thanks
whatever that means. I'm just trying. I'm learning all this now. Like I was gone for a couple of months on YouTube, and then I can't do this, I can't do that. I'm like, what?
Right.
But yeah. So after that, is when I didn't have a whole everybody, because either you were working or you weren't.
Right.
And I was working, but I'm asthmatic, so all the scare at the time. So I took a break. So I needed something to do. So I already got myself back into comics, and we're having a show in the future about that. So I'll talk more about that in the future. But while I was doing that, I was buying these issues and talking about them with my wife, and she's like, "You need to start talking about this with other people, cause come on, you know what I mean?"
Right.
So that's what I did. So I started doing my YouTube channel. Big fan of Rockin' Robbie. Everybody knows Rockin' Robbie. A lot of us gonna mention him because the man's awesome. knows his books. One day I was looking for something to do, you know what I mean? So I'm always looking for content. And at that time, there wasn't a whole lot of content, believe it or not. And after a lot of fails, like angry people, like every time I go on there, I see angry people and stuff like that. I was like, nah, this ain't good. This ain't good. Eventually I found Robbie, you know what I mean? And I was like, this man not only talks about comics, but he talks with such love, such passion.
Right.
And behind him was a DVDs. You know, he has all his figures and his DVDs. And I saw a Josie the Pussycat DVD behind there. Big fan of the movie. You know what I mean? And that DVD is what made me fall in love with him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love
that's a
that.
great
That's so
story.
Yeah,
great. That's
yeah.
so great.
So after that, the channel grew. Grew a little bit, and we were in his chats all the time, rocking Bobby live. I think I joined his like fourth ever live show, fifth ever or something like that. So I've been there for a while. He has only a couple of, maybe 1,500, and he'll have Sunday nights, a bunch of people in the chats. So I'll be having fun in the chats, and
Right.
of course, you know,
That's where the communities are built in the chat.
yeah, yeah. So I've learned to like from Comics with Bueller, from his chats. I was on his chats. I met a lot of people in there. I had to mention Comics with Bueller. He's one of the ones too in the beginning. Um, so I keep meeting these people in these chats, and somehow this man over here that's down there in the bottom, he's in that chat. So I say hello to him, and he says hello to me back. You know what I mean? And from there on, Steph was there too. We all saying hi to each other. The whole PCP Army group was in there. And little by little, the troublemaker down there hits me up. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, hey, mom, do you want to conversate with my man Steph? You know what I mean? And have a little group chat? I was like, sure, why not? You know, it can't hurt. Talk comics and stuff. And from there, it blew up. Then members here, members there. You guys know Bobby that I got.
Right. You can't have Fable pull you in and just start not loving everything you're doing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can I
So,
can I just add on to that? Can I just say something?
Sure.
Absolutely.
When you first get into this community and you start doing the YouTube rabbit hole for the comic books and stuff, like Herm said, I found Robbie's channel and I also fell in love with it because of his positivity and the way he talked about books and stuff. And I was just a new collector, so I needed that. You know, I needed that in my collecting. And you see the chat and you kind of want to jump in, but you're a little nervous to jump in because everybody looks like they know each other already.
Yeah, it's like
So-
you're edging into a family and you
Right. So, one day I decided to take that dive. I've been watching the lives, but I decided to take that dive. And Big Herm is the first person that said hello to me ever in this community. And if he never, ever said hello to me, I wouldn't be on this channel right now with him on the 1011.
That's the circle of life right there.
You're already making me cry.
That's good stuff. And and that's the thing too, right? There's you have all the drama channels that because like it's so in my regular like the media I watch, like I don't watch reality TV because I don't like drama stuff. And that extends when I watch YouTube. There's an audience for it.
Without a doubt.
It's just not me. The reason I like guys like Fable and Stu, we all talk about what we love. It's about a passion for what you have. And that's what these type of shows like the 1011 are built on. Just what do you love? Why do you love it? Why is it important to you? But let's go say hi to our chat. We've been ignoring them for a bit here. And so first in, as always, we have James. Good evening, Las Cruces. Nice to see you, sir. Mr. Steve White, who I hope is doing well. My normal Tuesday wingman. Can't be here tonight. Always miss you, Steve. Mr. Anachronic Comics, Joe himself, another great positive person in our community. And guys, go check out his the series he's doing where he does a history of the characters. It's amazing. He's done a couple. The Wonder Woman one's fantastic, and just go check it out. He does a really great job. But Mr. DVH, Mr. Dr. Von Hoots himself, one of the funnest personalities on YouTube, and all the time is just subjecting his daughter to the worst jokes ever told. Poor Magic Badger. Justin, good to see you tonight, sir. No Good Comics. Mr. Bobby De La Ghetto, one of the best in our community as well.
Hardcore Station.
Tony from the Comiverse. Good evening, Tony. Great to see you, buddy. All right, we also have Mr. Kenneth Berg. Good evening, Kenneth. Mr. Dope Comics. Good evening, Dope. Nice to see you, buddy. All right, we have Mr. Chuck Hensey. Good evening, Chuck. Hope everything is going well with now that you're back teaching in school and your vacation time is over. Sorry to bring it up. And we have the one and only Marcus Circumstances. And guys, this is Tuesday night. And you know what that means? It means when this show is done, you go over to Marcus's channel and you watch FOC and Chill with Marcus and the crew. All right. If you're not doing that, then you're not living life. So we're going to go down here. And I think Cali Comics is here. Another great guy. And there we go. Herm is one away from 400. So if you're watching this and you're not subbed to Herm, his links are in the description below, both to YouTube and the Instagram, as well as my two gracious guests here. So sub everybody up if you haven't, and we'll keep plugging that. And let's see, we're almost there. All right, we have Melanin and Manga. Good evening. Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
The best.
Right?
Yes.
And we got Steve. He's working tonight. He wanted to be here to host.
What up, bro? Steve, great show last week.
Left all his figures and stuff. I'm like,
man, he killed it last week, bro.
He did. Mr. Fuzzy Dunlop, great to see you. Thank you for coming in. And let's see, we're getting down there, guys. Sorry, just got to get the hellos out of the way. And Maria Reyes, Station Maria, nice to see you.
Station.
And Tony is saying that you are at 400 right now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations, Herm. Another milestone down.
Yes.
All right. So now with that, now as people are popping in, you'll just see me giving them a tip of the hat, Herm. But it's not about me or Fable or Stu. It's all about you tonight. So let's get you going. Start out with your first book and let's hear why you love it. John's Comics with Kids coming in at the last
John,
station, buddy.
John, amazing short the other day, dude. That one with your daughter, I was losing my mind.
Yeah, that
so
was
funny.
Great.
Oh my god,
John's got such a fun personality.
He really does.
You can see John on my channel this Friday with me, John, Robert, the Comic Book G Spot, and Gore Vidal Comics are doing a stream about positivity.
Oh, nice.
About kindness. So it's just about kindness. You won't see any drama in that channel.
John is big brother, man. That's big bro.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
All right. But Herm, it's about you, buddy. Let's go.
Oh, man, I thought we were dodging that part. Damn.
Joe, how you doing, sir?
All right. I think I saw the mayor in the chats.
Yeah, mayor. Hell yeah.
The mayor was in there. Station. The reason why I mentioned him, I was in one of his shows. He was showing me to show something. I'm always cheating. Instead of one, I'll show two. I hope that's okay.
Absolutely. We call that the Joe. It's the Joe Travato clause, or because Joe started that by showing multiples for each one.
So I was going through all my Spider-Man comics. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Big surprise, Spider-Man show about Spider-Man. Big surprise. I'm sure Primetime Tom somewhere is like, yeah, all right, we all knew that, but
Hey,
I didn't know
Spidey's
what to show. I didn't know what to show, but I was like, I don't have the original one, but if I'm gonna show it, maybe one day I'll show other issues. But I'm gonna show a facsimile and just pretend it's the real one. Amazing Fantasy 15.
Right.
I know a lot of people probably show this, but I had to show it too because I love facsimiles. What's funny about this is actually the first print of this one. And I was trying to get a second print of it. It's the same thing. The only thing in the bottom, it says 2 on it. The barcode. I know a lot of people know about that.
I did that with the Conan and the Barbarian one. Because I'm like, I'm going to get the facsimiles. And then they did a second print. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah. I sent for the second print, right? And I got the first print again. So I never got a chance to get the second print. It's sold out. I couldn't find it anywhere. I guess people were specking. You know what I mean? I guess, But, yeah, so I got this one. I might as well show this one. Amazing Fantasy. Everybody knows the story. Teenage kid, coming of life, coming of age and all that. Everybody knows it. I remember just being a little kid and looking at the art, which is the art is great. But if you remember me being a kid, you seen Todd McFarlane's art and stuff like that, and then you go back to this, you're like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
You learn to appreciate it more as an adult. So I
Yeah.
had to show so and I know the king is on, this is the cover, he did the cover, but had the Steve Dickles in the book, not him, but you know what I
Right.
mean. His art.
But you do learn to get an appreciation for the art. The thing is, like when you grow up with something, that's your mindset. Like this is how
Yeah.
things are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it takes you a
Yeah.
while to warm up to other things, but once it's like watching a movie you've never seen that everybody brags about. You watch it for the first time, you're like, eh. But have you ever done that? And then you watch a movie second or third time, you're like, I don't know why I'm watching again.
For
And
sure.
all of a sudden you love it. You like
Yeah.
it gets you different.
It's happened a
Absolutely.
lot. Especially anything as a kid and you didn't like it, and then you got an adult and you're like, oh, why didn't I like that? There's probably a lot of stuff you didn't understand about it when you were a kid. You know what I mean? You
Right.
don't understand,
Yeah.
But that's the same thing with art. You really don't understand it till you know what it is. You've seen the whole story in annuals because they always put it up every couple of years. You will see it in the
Right.
Spider-Man
And with that in the
annuals.
FF, just changing comics because you could actually care about the personal lives of the heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, back then you didn't have omnibuses and stuff like that. So that's the only way you're gonna find something like that is through annuals and stuff like that. So I had to show this one, and of course, I had to show Stan Lee meets Spider-Man.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I had to.
That
That's
is a
why.
fun cover.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I kind of cheated a little bit, but he actually, I think he does the same thing in the animated series, the Spider-Man in the series, the one I grew up with. I'm an '80s baby, so I grew up with Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends too. But you guys know.
Oh
Whatever.
yeah, I love Spider-Man and his. It's funny too, right? Because when you're watching those cartoons and you grow up, you remember like, oh man, this was on every week. I love it. And then you see that it only had 21 episodes ever, or something small like that, and you just remember it being so much bigger.
Yeah.
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 So true.
I know I'm cheating again, but Justin's probably laughing. But Firestar, I found her one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Firestar.
Let's go.
Angelica Jones.
Yeah.
I have her first real appearance, which was in the Spider-Man His Amazing Friends comic, and then it's in 193, I think it is. I got like 5-6 copies. That's her first in continuity appearance in the X-Men.
Sweet.
So she's got 2 first appearances in comics.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
But I remember like when that show came on, I'm like, oh my gosh, who's Firestar?
Yeah. I was like, who's this lady? Where's Johnny Storm? But I ended up loving her. So like, if I see her, I'll get her. Like, but like all those issues you talk about, I'll probably try to get them. They're probably all expensive now. So.
Did you ever read that 4-issue miniseries that came out of her too back in the day with her and Emma Frost?
I've never read it, but I did pick it up. I have it somewhere in this room.
It's only expensive because Gary took all the copies. That's all. That's
Yeah, right.
That's a lot.
And I got a couple different Firestar figures. I just got one of the old ones from one of the 90s ones where it's on the card. They're so cool.
Yeah. But I picked up that series like before like comics got really big again. It was always been big to me, but you guys know what I mean.
Right. Oh, and they had that one shot too with the Jenny Frison cover, which was really nice.
Oh, that one was nice.
Plus, I just picked up the 2 Deadpool annuals that had Iceman and Firestar on them. I don't give a crap that Deadpool's on them, but it was like they're like homages to Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah. Anything with that was pretty cool. Like I wish I took advantage of all those covers that came out, but there's so much things that come out. You overlook some things like that. But if I see them in a while,
you don't even know exist until you see it.
Yeah.
Like there was like some Target only comics that had Firestar and stuff on them. I'm like, I never even heard of these. I just happened to come across it. I was like, me needs it.
Better get it before eBay sells it for like $500 or something,
No, yeah, right. So wait, I'm sorry. That's still your number one, right?
Yeah, that's still my number one. All that. It's like I said, I cheated.
All
I'm a
that.
cheater.
A, B, and C.
A long night, man.
No,
Yeah.
Firestar is Spider-Man adjacent. I allow it, and you put the Women of Marvel in, you're gonna get a little bit of leeway.
All right, so my number 2. I guess we're going to number 2. And of course, if I'm gonna mention Spider-Man, I have to mention my other favorite because they're like back to back, like they're like neck and neck a lot of times. My wife says, "Oh, it's always gonna be Spider-Man," and it's probably maybe true, but I'm gonna show a facsimile of Batman.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
First appearance. I had to show this one. Um, if you thought the other art was like funny, this one's hard.
Well, I like on that cover too how his cape's like in two pieces almost the way it looks. The
Yeah.
way they drew it.
Yeah,
Don't make fun of Bill Finger like that.
yeah. I'm sorry. Sorry, Bill. I'm sorry. Won't mention the other guy. The other guy got enough cred. But of course I had to show his Robin one. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows these. I wish I had the regular one, but I wish I probably would have sold it because they're a lot of money. But
What a
Yeah,
little
man.
punk that kid is.
Yeah.
and of course Robin, Robin again on the first Batman. So these facsimiles,
yeah.
I had to show all three. I could have just showed one, and I know like I had so many other Batmans I could have shown, but I had to go with with my heart. My heart said show these. So
Yeah, man.
Right?
going
And
up with the what?
it's
Go
always
ahead.
about the original Robin, right? I mean, he's the best, and then he becomes
Yeah.
Nightwing, and Nightwing is just like it was a cool transition, and not many characters get to grow up in comics, so
Yeah, Nightwing's like my best character in DC, my favorite character in DC. Hero and stuff like that. So
yeah,
anything
people
Nightwing,
have loved that series since that new series since it's been out. It's always been in like
Yeah.
one of the top talked about ones.
yeah. So I'm enjoying the Tom. I keep forgetting his name. That's how much I
Tom
love him. Right?
Tom
Yeah,
Taylor, Tom King.
Tom Taylor. There you go, Tom Taylor. Um, once you say let's go live, I forget everything. I forget names. I almost forget my own name. But keep on keeping on. I don't know. Anybody want to say anything else about Batman? I've got obviously the '89 movie. That's where I, you know,
Right, yeah,
stop-
it reinvigorated
started
Batman again in comics a little bit. Gave him all a nice push. Well, and just growing up when I grew up, like anytime you got anything superhero, it doesn't matter how good or bad it was, you were just eating it up because it's all you got. And to this day, Michael Keaton's still my favorite Batman.
Yes, mine
It's
too.
Michael Keaton,
Mine too.
and then it's controversial. I'm going to say it, but Ben Affleck.
Oh, you know what?
Because Ben Affleck, they have the dichotomy where they can play Bruce Wayne and Batman both well, and I don't think all the other actors they're either good at one but not as good at the other.
I have to agree with you, and I never thought I would agree with someone with that because when I first heard Ben, I can't stand Ben Affleck at the time. At the time, now
I've always liked him as an actor.
I couldn't stand. Oh, I'm a Yankee fan, and he's a Red Sox fan. And then one time we got Hideki
Got bad
Matsui,
blood.
and he was a crybaby. And since that day, I hated him. I was like, stop crying. They ended up winning it anyway. But you know what I'm saying? From that day on, I couldn't stand the man. I see him on the screen, I want to spit on him. You know what I mean? But
Come on, Jason
I
Amy,
don't
Good Will
like that.
Hunting. He's made a lot of great movies.
But he's good. He's excellent. Like I said, like people were shocked when I said he played a pretty good Batman. And
Yeah.
older grizzled Batman. I was like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that and he had the physical presence of Batman. Like
Yeah.
he was the most imposing Batman.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing scary about Christian Bale's Batman. You just wanted to give him a cough drop the whole movie. Dude, I don't know.
Stop doing that to Christian Bale, dude. Every second time, every
I
time
don't
you
know
get
what
the
happened to your voice, dude, but here.
Tread lightly, young man.
Let's get a little
Rachel.
chorus. Cut that in there and let's get you healed up.
Every time you get the
Why you
chance,
say
you
that
take a
name?
sweat.
Right?
It's not who I am. It's not who I am beneath the mask. That makes me that.
Like,
Bruce,
I mean, it's
is
still
it?
carried to this day.
Yeah,
by
that's
people.
me. Yeah, that's
Like,
Bruce.
like those movies, I know people love them. I could never get into them because every time he talked as Batman, it completely took me out of the movie. That and they had the mask.
love the
so he was like
cheeks.
chubby cheeks.
Ever
baby
since you
face
put that in
Batman.
my head, like I was on the show 2 weeks ago and you put that in my head, and now like every time I see a clip from it on Instagram or YouTube, it's like all I can see is Christian Bale's chubby cheeks.
Damn.
You ruined it forever, Gary.
Sorry about that.
It's all right.
You can't mention Martha in front of me because I'll just be like, why you say that name? Every time.
Right?
I feel bad for all the Marthas. I'm sorry, Marthas. You know what I mean?
Well, Willard that Batman's fun. He's a great Lego Batman.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh my god, that always made me laugh. Like when he goes into the cave, he said, "What's the password?" And he's like, "Well, he said F Iron Man or something like that. Iron Man sucks. Iron Man sucks."
Ain't no love for Adam West, man. Love Adam
Oh,
West.
oh yeah, he
Let's
was
go.
everyone's childhood.
Yeah,
Of
that's
course.
what brought me into the game, like for real.
Hell
Yeah. The thing and Batman, pam, pam, pam. You know what I mean? Everybody love that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Damien loves.
Holy ravioli, Batman. You know what I mean?
Right?
With the
Yeah,
ravioli.
all the cheesy lines.
Yeah,
That it was its own thing, but it was fun.
it was.
Yeah, I remember hearing like a lot of people at the time was trying to make fun of it, and then they ended up liking it, stuff like that. You know?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was so popular that it changed how Batman was written in comics again, just like the '89 Batman did, right?
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you know, it's had its unique style and it was iconic for the time. And but when you think about that era too, it fit the era. You know, that kind of Batman doesn't really work today, but back then it was perfect for the time period it was in.
Oh, for sure. And I think you look at books like Dark Knight Returns, that was such a product of its time in the late 80s and New York City and like people not feeling safe on the streets and all that. Like,
I agree with Bobby. Still the best Batmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
That
awesome.
one,
Yeah.
in the '89 Batmobile that Keaton had.
Yes.
Those are the two favorites for me.
There's
I didn't like the Tumblr.
But there's a guy out here on Free Comic Book Day. He goes to a couple of the local comic shops and drive around his Batmobile and stuff like that. I think I took a picture once the last time I saw him, but it's pretty cool. He was in the suit and everything. He played the role and everything. It was so cool.
He's obviously got Bruce Wayne money.
He does. Maybe he is Bruce Wayne, and I just didn't know. You know what I mean, I missed my opportunity to get the autograph. You know.
Right. All right. Number 3, sir.
Number 3. All right. So this one, like I said, I'm gonna show a few.
Oh, you're good. Have fun with it.
So obviously everybody knows I'm a huge wrestling fan. Bobby knows Bobby Lelagoros, Brother Joe. You know, Brother Joe's wrestling. Fable love wrestling. You know, I don't know if you guys love wrestling too, but I love wrestling, so I figure wrestling. I don't want to show the figures because I'm gonna show some more comics. So I had to show my WWE Heroes #1 with Triple H in it.
Nice.
Got John
Oh
Cena,
yeah, there we
Undertaker.
go.
That's dope, dude.
You know what I mean? So it's from Titan Comics right here. So I had to.
When did that come out? Do you know? You don't have to.
April 2010.
Okay.
Just from 2010. I couldn't
Yeah,
find.
I didn't know Titan Comics had been around that long.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of new to me this year with getting the Conan license. Well, they came on my radar with Gun Honey.
I bet they did.
Yeah, I remember that. A lot of people like that. But yeah, so I had to show this one, and of course, when Boom Studios came out with their series, I picked up some of those. I picked the Attitude Era, you know, probably the most fun era.
That's so dope.
The Rock, Mankind, everybody.
I don't know. There was a little era back in the day with Andre the Giant, Macho Man Savage, Hulk Hogan. That was a pretty good era.
The 80s.
The British Bulldog, Junkyard Dog, all that stuff.
I love that era too. I was a little kid, you know, I was 80s babies, but that's what got me into wrestling. All those you mentioned there, like Hulk Hogan was my first superhero, really. You know what I mean?
Roddy Piper.
Really think about it. Oh, I couldn't stand him. He was a great villain because I couldn't stand him as a kid. You know?
And you know what was funny too? Then you grow up and you find out like how nice these guys really are. Like, you know.
Yeah.
They kind of ruined it right there. Like, why are you nice? You know what I mean? You want to yell at them and stuff.
You know, one of the best things I ever learned about Roddy Piper, right, is he was in that movie with the John Carpenter movie, They Live, which is a great movie.
Yeah.
But when him and John Carpenter made that movie, and I don't know if you've ever seen it, Herm, and they got all the homeless people that are in the movie. Him and John themselves went out and only hired real homeless people and made sure that they were fed every day and taken care of. And they didn't hire actors for the way they went and paid homeless people and made sure that all those people where they were filming were being fed and taken care of while they were making that movie.
Nice. Oh yeah.
You know, and that was a big thing that Roddy and John did. And then you hear that and you're like, but man, he's so good at playing the villain. How can he be that nice?
Yeah.
Lost opportunity with Roddy, man. Roddy could have been a huge star, man.
He really could have.
Yeah, he definitely had the personality for it.
I mean, in his own way, he was. You know, in his own way. Like at that
Oh, Hell
time,
Comes to Frogtown. I'll always mention that movie. That's a fun movie with him.
yeah, I thought that time, they were so into their character, the kayfabe stuff that probably today he'll probably blow up bigger than that time because everybody actually hated him. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't stand him. I was like,
there's that time he
shut him
splashed
up
a real
already,
bottle on his head and he's like bleeding during the interview.
Yeah, with the coconut. You talking about that one when he hits Superfly with the coconut?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he remember the eye gouging all the time was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
He was like the cheap shot bad guy.
He was great.
Hate to say it, but he was a better actor than Hogan. That's for sure.
For sure.
Without a doubt. We're better actors than
I ain't
Hogan.
disagreeing with that.
But even when, not to say like he was just in the twilight of his career, even like as the Attitude Era was beginning, his name still had the juice. Like you still knew he was a dude to be reckoned with, man. And when that intro music of his came out, like you knew you were in for a great show. So I feel like that guy always brought it.
I like that era too, Gary. So you're talking about a wrestling fan here. I can enjoy all the eras. Some people be like talk about this era right here with John Cena. Beep, beep, beep. I know you can't see him.
I can't see that cover, Herm.
You can't see the cover. It's blank. You know what I mean? It's blank. You know what I mean? I was like, why am I showing a blank comic? You know what I mean?
And again, a guy you didn't know would be as funny as he is.
Yeah, he's great, man.
Like he's hilarious.
I love him. That's my wife's favorite wrestler too, for other reasons. I'm like, I have to hear.
Did she ever see him at the end of the world with the Seth Rogen movie where he's like in the gimp suit?
Yeah.
I had to disagree with Callie. He says John Nada is the greatest character in film. He'll die in this hill. He is one of the greatest characters, but we all know the greatest character in film is McCready from The Thing.
There it is.
And then real quick, so I could show the rest of the eras. I obviously have to show this.
Nice. Batman homage.
Oh, that's too cool.
Batman, Roman Reigns. A lot of these guys that were famous after, I like all these guys before they became big. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of happy with them. Stone Cold Steve Austin, loved him before he was good. Before people loved him. The Rock, all those guys. Chris Jericho. I always got to mention Chris Jericho. He's probably pound for pound the best, one of the best ever. And then of course, Shinsuke Nakamura, AJ Styles. This comic is like a rendition of their match and stuff like that.
God, Boom did some great covers for that.
Yeah. And I promise, last wrestling one.
Oh, you're good, man. Enjoy your spotlight.
With the Demon, one of my favorite characters, came out in NXT. Finn Balor. I had to show it. You know what I mean? And Charlotte Flair back there, but
I know that's what I'm saying.
I'll bring it back up for you, Herm.
So good.
You know that John he's a YouTube bully. You already know that about him.
Absolutely, absolute bully. That's definitely the word for John. I was the same way, Herm. I had like an A, B, and C. Like it took me forever to whittle down the list. So
I couldn't. I can't just show one.
Yeah, man.
Now the grail cover for me for our wrestling covers would be that Macho Man one, but that's like a $300 book.
Oh yeah. I couldn't do that one for you, Gary. I'm sorry.
No, that's a ghost one to find too. But that one, have you ever seen it, Herm?
I heard of it. I haven't seen it.
It's a good cover. All right, so nice. So if you want to do a toy one in the future with all your WWE, with all your wrestling figures, we can set that up for you too.
Oh, I could do that. I mean, I probably would want to show other figures too, other than wrestling. But
you can do whatever you want. That's the beauty. It's all about you, Herm. All right, so number 4.
Number 4. So this one has a little bit of story. It's not my story issue, but has a little bit of story. These 2 books I bought for she's my cousin, but for me, she's my little sister. I have a video about it that got nominated for the first year. I got nominated for that video on
Oh,
the
nice.
comic book awards. So I'm proud of that. You know, of the nomination.
Hell yeah.
Thank you everybody who nominated me that year. I was blown away. But obviously Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh
This is
yeah.
the sixth issue.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I had to show some Sarah Michelle Gellar in here.
Every Tuesday night, my ass was in front of the TV watching Buffy.
Yeah. Yeah. The funny part about this, I was a kid when the movie came out. So I was a huge fan of the movie, and I
Yep.
can't like I said, I remember I
With Christy
don't remember
Swanson.
what happened. Yeah, her. And loved her so much that when I saw her, I was like, really her?
I was the same way because I saw that movie in the theater. You know, her, Rutger, Donald Pleasance, and you had even Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. He was in there. He was at the end when he's dying. He's like
Ooh.
ah. Yeah. So I didn't get to see this series. Also, in the beginning, it was Monday nights. Her show was on Monday nights, and I'm a wrestling fan. And what's on?
Oh,
The Monday Night Wars. You had Raw and freaking WCW Nitro. So there's no way I was gonna watch this. And they didn't have streaming back there. So, you know, I was recording WCW while I was watching Raw or vice versa. So I couldn't record this show. So I really didn't get to see it till they moved the show. And I ended up having to go like to Best Buy at the time or something and buy the season.
yeah, because it went from Monday to Tuesday, and I always remembered on Tuesday, but I forget that it started on Mondays.
It started on Monday, yeah.
Because I remember and no one, no one will call me until Tuesday, right? And all of a sudden, I'd be getting calls. I'd be getting all mad. I'm not answering anything. And then, like when they released Angel, I'm like, oh, a spinoff with Angel, really? And then the show was so great.
Good.
Yeah.
And then I was so mad the way they ended it. I'm like, I just wanted more Angel.
Ugh.
And they made Wesley, like, who is this weird character,
Might as well show him, but-
badass.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
The shows, the actors, everybody like, oh, Buffy. And if you actually start watching it, they're good. Sarah Michelle Gellar came from soap opera show. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she can act. So she had you feeling for her character and everything. You want to cry, especially when she fell in love with this one, and he became evil and stuff like that. It was like, oh.
Who was your favorite side character? Not the two main, not Buffy or Angel, but who was your favorite support character? So my email address, it's long. It's been Xander Chase for like since the 90s, right?
Xander.
Which is Xander and
Yeah.
Cordelia Chase, because they were like the couple I loved. Then they split them up, and I was mad.
Yeah.
And then Xander hooked up with Anya, and then I was a big Emma Caulfield fan. I thought
He's
Anya was such a
awesome.
great character.
Hilarious.
In the music episode, I still listen to the soundtrack, Herm.
Nice.
You see this 54-year-old nerd just singing that whole blast in my
Don't
car.
be ashamed. I'm going through the episodes again because there's a podcast. I listen to podcasts, and it's called The Rewatcher. And these two girls, they're sisters, and they're going over all the episodes of Buffy. The younger one hasn't seen any of the episodes, but the older one does. So the younger one doesn't watch any of the shows to the show they're watching. So her sister can see her face in there. It's awesome. Awesome. If you like podcasts and stuff like that, The Rewatcher. And you could get it on iTunes or
Because I have all those on DVD. So
yeah, I own it too. Man.
Yeah.
But love Buffy, Angel. The only ones I don't own all is Angel. I'm missing 2, 3, and 4. I got 1 and 5. But I had to show this. This actually I used to buy for, I'm gonna say my little sister, even though she's my cousin. And she found them one day and she sent them to me. Because she's like, I don't want these to, I know you still love your comics. I want you to remember me by, you used to buy me all this. And I had a whole stack and stuff that I used to buy her every time she used to come with me to the shop. And very touching. I love to tell that story. So I had to show that. I had to show
Oh
that.
yeah, dude. Oh yeah, that's awesome, man.
I love that. That's what it's all about, dude.
And I knew I was gonna get Gary because I seen some of your shows.
You got
I know
him. You
like
got
Buffy,
him, man.
so-
You got
and what you don't realize, Herm,
bro.
is I had 2 boxes, and I since moved them on. But I read all the novels they've made of them too. I read all the Buffy ones. I read
Mhm.
the adult ones, the young adult ones. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
I read all the Buffy novels, all the Angel novels. I was that nerd.
Man, me too. But when I moved from Florida here, I couldn't take them with me. It was too much. It was too heavy. So I left them. I wish I kept one or two of those books. My favorite book was the one with all the Slayers. Yeah, Kendra.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that book. I know you read it too. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It was a stacked book too. That was a
it
big
was.
story.
Now,
Um,
who's your favorite alternate Slayer?
my favorite, I love Faith, man.
Well, I mean, who
I love
doesn't
Faith.
love Eliza Dushku? But I also like Kendra a lot too.
I like Kendra a lot, man. Like I was telling you, when I first started watching it, they were already in season 4. So I went
Right.
to the store and picked up the first 3 seasons and binge watched all 3 before Netflix, guys. Before Netflix, I binge watched all 3 of that season in 1 week, and then I caught up before the 4th season started. So as I was going through, and it was my first time, and then when we lost Kendra, I was like,
Right. And when we
spoilers.
lost Tara too.
Oh my
The
god,
episode with Tara.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Out of nowhere too.
yeah.
You don't expect it. It was a gunshot out of all things. You know what I mean? Oh,
Oh, then you had
You don't
Dark
got
Willow.
any you don't got any issues with Spike, man? I love Spike.
Oh yeah.
I
And that's
have,
another
man.
character I didn't
Yeah.
expect to love as much as I loved. When he went over to Angel, it was like a whole new world for Spike. It was like
Oh yeah.
like
But he
Angel
was so
just
popular, they
fucked
had to
him.
use him again. You know?
Yeah, he was supposed to die in his first arc. He wasn't supposed to return, but he had such good audience perception that they had
He
to
was
keep him
so good.
on.
He was so good.
Drusilla,
Drusilla. She's the one. If I had to pick one of the two, it's Drusilla because she was so crazy,
right?
so
Yeah, she
good
was
at it.
nuts.
You know what I mean? And she literally believes everything she said. You know what I mean? It's just
And what was the Julie Benz one? Darla.
Darla. Yeah. You didn't get to see a lot of her until she went to Angel. They started showing the past and stuff like that. But it sucks that her character in the beginning, in the first pilot, in the first 2 episodes, that's all you saw of her until you
Right.
finally saw her with the story and the background and everything, you know?
Babo, go check it out, Babo. Go check it out, man.
What? Yeah, I don't know what we're talking about with this stuff either. Yeah, see, you activated the deep nerd in me on that one, Herm.
That's
I was
it,
like,
man. That's what it's all
I was
about.
trying to go fast with that one, but I guess it's not happening.
all right, let's go to number 5, unless you got more to show.
No, that's good. I had a
Okay.
Spike cover, but I'm not gonna go back to my box and go get a Spike cover.
Oh, and the puppet episode too.
Yeah. We could go through a whole show just talking about our favorite episodes, and
Oh yeah,
we're gonna have to do that one day, man.
we will. And we'll have to talk. I don't know if you're a fan of Ash versus the Evil Dead. Like that's a series I didn't think I'd like, and I loved it. And they had a great puppet episode on that too.
I have not seen many of them, so Fable don't hate me.
No, man.
Oh my god,
There's always
Ash
time.
versus
There's
the
always
Evil
time.
Dead is so good. Like I was mad at their. I'm like, why are they making? You can't give them sidekicks. And then the first episode, I was like, oh, Kelly and Pablo are so perfect.
If you like
happens.
Buffy, Herm, you'll like Ash versus the Evil Dead for sure.
Oh, I bet.
Dude,
You
every
guys talk about
episode
it so
is-
much.
oh.
Heck yeah.
And great soundtracks on there too. On Ash versus the Evil Dead, you get some great music on those shows.
I definitely gonna start watching that after my rewatch of Buffy. I'll watch.
And
that.
you also get Lucy Lawless on it.
Hey, hello,
Oh.
hello, nurse. That's what I'm watching right now. Hercules and Xena.
Hello, nurse.
Doing a watch.
Hello. Nice.
Well, I'm watching Xena over again right now on Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
I'm
me
in
too,
season
dude.
3.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Xena was the truth
It
back
still
in the day.
holds
Though.
up. I mean,
I
obviously,
have no reference for Buffy or anything like that, but Xena, I could
Okay.
talk about Xena all day with y'all now.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
That's why when people are all big on Something's Killing Children, I'm like, dude, this is just Buffy reimagined.
I'm the sucker that fought for it. So
You're kinda-
I love
yeah.
something skin.
It's
Yeah,
kind
me
of
too.
true,
I'm
though,
guilty.
honestly.
I have the whole set right there. I just thought, maybe I won't show that.
Oh, there's
'cause
nothing
Manny
wrong
has
with it.
showed
It just like when I started, I'm like, oh, this is Buffy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything's a reimagining. Buffy's
Yeah.
even a reimagining of something else. It's just, there's nothing wrong with it.
It's
I
probably
just
why I fell in love with
like
it.
to pick on Marcus about it, circumstances. That's all. Keep him heated.
I love that. I always love when Circumstance was like, "There's only 35 issues of Something's Killing Children. Why do I have 150 comics?"
Dude, I'm feeling that right now with the new Conan. It's 14 issues in, and I already have a short box full.
There you go.
I got to start
Yeah.
another short box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, number 5, Herm.
Number 5.
We've already gone 45 minutes. We're only at number 5.
I'm sure Fable warned you. I'm sure.
And I told Herm I had to
time
work
have this
tonight.
guy
Herm
on the
doesn't care.
blaming, every time I have him on the blaming, it's like, okay, let me go get something to drink. Let me crack my knuckles because
Right.
He's got to cut me down to like a few minutes, or not, I'll keep going.
Get my IV drip going.
But that's the thing. I end up saying something, and everybody has something to say about it, and I only get like 1 or 2 words of what I just said. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like I didn't even get to say anything, you know. But I love it. Everybody's having fun. That's all that matters, you know. But that's pretty much what happens on our streams. But number 5, yeah, number 5. Like I said, comic book. I'm gonna show everything I grew up loving and stuff through comic books. Almost all of it. Masters of the Universe, you know what I'm saying? He-Man.
Oh yeah,
Everybody knows
Conan ripoff.
Transformers. You know what happened?
Stop it, Gary.
Conan ripoff.
Conan. Listen, I didn't know that as a kid. You know what I mean?
Stop
it.
I'm just picking her.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I didn't know that as a kid, you know. But I love outside of Transformers and G.I. Joe, which is the obvious. We all fell in love with that stuff. Most of us. I had to give some shine to He-Man. You know what I mean? Because I did love the hell out of it. I was really little when it came out. I think I was 3 when it came out.
Did you get the toys too?
Yeah, I had the toys. I only had a few of the toys. My friends had all of them, so I used to go to their house to play with the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Herm, you know what you got to get though? You can get this for $20 now on Aftermarket.
You got
This is
Castle
all the
Grayskull?
mini comics.
Oh, I was about to say.
It's an omnibus of
Oh.
them that came with the figures. Obviously not the new ones, but this is it's all the 80s and 90s comics.
Damn.
Nice. I didn't even know about that one.
Yeah. And it's hardcover. I got this for $20 on used, and it's brand new.
Yeah, that looks nice.
That's dope.
Oh.
But
That's a
not to
gem
send you
right
down a
there,
rabbit
man.
hole or spend your money, but
Damn you, Gary. Damn you.
Yeah. But I had to show some Masters of the Universe.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you guys ready for the next one.
sure. Who's your favorite He-Man character outside of He-Man though? You can't say the main guy.
Evil Lynn, man. Come on. Everybody love Evil Lynn.
Ooh, I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I respect
I
that.
had her figure too.
Oh my gosh! And how good did Meg Foster look as Evil Lynn in the Masters of the Universe movie?
Oh,
Scariest woman ever.
With her
man.
eyes, dude. Meg Foster and her eyes.
Oh my god.
Again, and she looked amazing in They Live. Like Meg Foster was a staple of my childhood.
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah. I was really young, but I saw it in the big screen and everything, man. I remember.
And
that.
you know
That
they're
was
making
amazing.
another one, right? It's just called Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, I can't wait,
Wow.
man.
So I'll be at the movies to see that for opening day.
I probably made that. This is probably a spec book too. I probably could have showed this in the spec one, but I didn't. You know.
There you go, John. John's. Everyone loves a good fisto. You know, I guess that's why John always has his "I'm sore" face on.
Wow.
A little lube goes a long way, John. Just saying, buddy.
Oh
You're old
my
enough
God.
to know better. All right, number 7.
Moving on.
Was that number 7? Was that
Yeah, you just didn't. I'm sorry, no, it's not. It's number 6. It's number 6.
okay? I knew. I was like, wait.
No, because I wrote Evil Lynn in number 6 because we were talking, and my brain just like automatically
the
right.
fist,
That's
the
all
fist, got, the fist got in the way. Yeah.
I showed so much
Right?
that I probably passed
It's a
10
good kind of-
issues. You know. All right, so moving on. Not only that cartoon, but there was another cartoon at the time that came out that I heard there was a show or movie coming out, and I had to show the comic book version of it, but Voltron Defenders of the Universe.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
You know what I mean? I had to show the image. variant. And
Right?
then
Again, like you couldn't come home from school and that was everywhere every afternoon, Voltron.
all the
Oh
time,
yeah.
all the time. And then I had to finish my homework before I could watch it. So you damn right, I finished my homework before that show came on. You know what I mean?
Good motivator, right?
Yeah, yeah. I had that cover. Of course, you guys know I'm gonna show a couple of more covers. I remember
Nice.
this one too. This Voltron with
Sick. I
all
like
the
that one.
17 vehicles that turned into one. You know what I mean?
That was a little weird. That one.
The Lions one is the best one.
Yeah.
I love the Lion one the best, but I never had this one. My cousin had it, and I used to play with it all the time. And it took forever to transform, so I gave up playing with it.
Right? I don't know. Transformer toys were a lot of work. I'm like, dude, I just want to play.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, of course, there are a couple of more issues of Voltron. So I showed a
Wow.
few of them, but I had to show me some love for Voltron too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So yeah, that was what, number 6.
Yep. Now we're on number 7.
Go to the 7, because if we keep talking about that, I can go on about that one too. So let's keep going, guys.
Right?
So what? This is number 7. Okay.
Number 7, sir.
So a lot of people say this is probably a rip-off of Voltron. You know what I mean? But I don't care. You know what I mean? Of course, I got to show this. Boom Studios, when they came out with it. I'll show the other one first. Show the original one.
Oh, it's going
Mighty
to be
Morphin
Giga?
Power
Oh,
Rangers.
okay.
There you go.
Right here. You know what I mean? It says Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. You know what I mean? I remember when this first came out on Fox, and you saw the little lightning and the dan, and the first series they showed was actually the Green Ranger, the evil Green Ranger. That's the first series they showed, and from there on I was hooked. So of course, had
Now,
to
who's your
get.
favorite Ranger?
I was just like a lot of people. You know, I love the Red Ranger. That was my favorite. You know,
Oh, I
he's
thought you
the
were going to
leader.
say Amy Jo Johnson.
And yeah, that's
Hello,
that's a
nurse.
lot of people's favorite too. You know what I mean? But
Long story short.
oh man,
I don't know anything about that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just said, "Amy
Threw
Jo
up that
Johnson," the
softball
whole
for no
thing.
reason, right?
So this is the first issue. Of course, I have all the first series, second,
Wow, nice.
Nice.
Really?
fourth,
Oh yeah.
fifth,
Bobby's is the Yellow Ranger.
sixth,
Hello.
and then that's it for that one. And of course, I was going to show the Boom Studios one because when I came back to comics 2017, these were coming out, so I had to get number 1. You know what I mean? And I also
Such a
like,
good series, man. Such a good series. Like
yeah,
they totally
Great
grounded
art.
the Power Rangers in that series. And if you thought it was silly or whatever before, I highly encourage you to read the Boom Studios version, man. It was great.
Hey, Herm, just so you know, he did show up from your little Where's Primetime Tom?
Hey.
there you go, prime time.
Tom,
What's
what
up,
up?
buddy? Yes, Kyle Higgins is the writer, and I think he wrote the WWE ones too. Kyle, if I'm not mistaken. So
Didn't Dan Mora do some art on Power
Oh,
Rangers?
yeah.
books
yes,
before?
Yep.
yes,
Yeah.
not this one, but he did do some art on that one.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. I had to show some Power Ranger love. You know what I mean? Let me take another sip, man. All this talking I'm doing.
Right?
I'm proud of you, Herm. It's water.
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of you.
Thank you.
Right?
Oh, I have my Pepsi right here when I celebrate showing all the
no,
books. You know what I'm saying? You didn't think I wasn't gonna drink that, right? I had to drink the water first. Where are we? Number 8.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I had a show like people see my shows in the past and stuff like this. Not just comics. I love collector's editions. I love omnibuses. So of course I had to show one of the collector's editions, which I wish they kept going. They kind of stopped, but I love Ron Friends and Tom DeFalco. Back in the day, that was Spider-Man days and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And when they
Yeah.
came out with it, I do have the issues, all the issues, but I felt like showing the collector's edition. But Spider Girl,
Oh,
Mayday,
nice.
Mayday Parker,
Mayday Parker, yeah.
yeah, yeah. This one has the first 15 with the annuals, and
Her first appearance is still on my to get list.
Yeah, that one wasn't part of my original collection, I think, and that one's gone.
You see,
So
I'm a big Spider Woman guy because I have all the Jessica Drew series, and I have the Maddie. If you never read the Maddie Franklin Spider Woman run, that's really good too.
yeah, I think I picked it up. I'm gonna have to read it. There's a lot of stuff I have.
It's dark, Herm. Like it's like
Yeah.
the villain skin and bones is disgusting, and
I got it. It's somewhere back there. I did pick that one up. I do love try to get all the Spider Girls and all the Spider Women, Spider people. I just love them. But of course, I saw this. I had to support it. Spider Girls, very underrated series. I wish. I'm glad we saw the baby in Spider Verse.
and that series went for a good run. That was a good clip.
Yeah, it was like 120 or 30 or 40 or something. And then they had a volume 2 and a volume 3. Yeah. It was Tom DeFalco and Ron Friends, man. Awesome. And of course, I got all the volumes. I got volume 2.
Nice.
Volume 3.
There you go.
I like the cover in the back.
Ooh, that is nice.
That's
your like Scarlet Spider outfit on the back.
Yeah. There was a version of that in these issues. I want to do a reread on these. It's funny I'm showing you all these books and I haven't done a reread on them. Right here. And of course, I have to show the back of this one because it has another Ben Riley type Spider Girl.
Right.
So they stopped at 4. I don't think they did 5. So, but if they do, I'm definitely going to get it. I had to show some Spider Girl. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Show some love for Spider Girl. I didn't even know where to put them now. I have the stuff everywhere. So what are we up to?
That was number 8. Now we're on number 9.
Number 9. So coming back into comic books, 2017. Everybody knows my story, my origins. Maybe I'll talk about it in another show. But I had to give my homegirl G. Willie Wilson some love for Miss Marvel.
Nice.
The omnibus. I wasn't gonna do a show without showing an omnibus.
Bro, such a great run. Such a great run.
Fantastic run. It's like literally like the modern day Peter Parker Spider-Man story, except with new background. She's from another country.
I love the show too. Like people are hating on the show. I'm like, why? Like every time I sat down and watched one of those episodes, I had a smile on the whole episode. It was
so fun.
The family dynamic in those shows are so good. Yeah. Loved her parents or her brother. Everything was so good about that show.
It's so family oriented. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, both through that book and that show, you learn more about another culture from another corner of the world, man. I think that's one of the most valuable and timeless parts of it, dude. When
she was interacting with her family was my favorite on that show.
Yeah.
It was just great.
Iman Benali, man, she loves the character. She loves comic books. She actually knows everything. You know what I mean? I was like, wow.
And the Marvels got way too much hate. That was just a dark time in comics.
Yeah.
That movie was, I liked it better than the first one. I thought it was great. And the first one made over $1 billion.
I hope they didn't scare her off with all the hate.
I don't think so. She's writing the character, so she's still invested.
Yeah, she's still writing, and she's so into the character. And they got a lot of G. Willie Wilson stuff in that, in the show. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in here. It's sprinkled into the show. There's a lot of stuff that happens. It's not just stuff that happens, like the show version of this. So great series. I'm always gonna recommend it. You know what I mean? Because it's a great series to have. G. Willie Wilson, Miss Marvel. That when I came back into comics 2017, that's one of the first series I read and complete. So phenomenal. I'm gonna keep going. Which number is this?
Yeah, number 10. Number 10. Then you got your extended storybook and spec after.
So this one's number 10.
Yep.
Okay. So it was hard for me to pick between these two.
Hey, Black Cat and Jackpot was a good series.
Don't do that, Tom. No. What?
Hold on.
I love Gary's face. Gary, every time.
I love what they've done with Black Cat and Jackpot. I don't like her outfit. I like the original Jackpot's outfit better, but I love the way they've developed MJ and Felicia as friends. They didn't go the cheap garish way of they're always going to be at odds because of Peter. No, they're their own people outside of Peter, and they can be friends.
Yeah.
Which I really love that they've developed that dynamic between them. Like these are two friends that actually give a shit about each other.
Jed McKay wrote.
Yeah.
Still my favorite Jed
first
McKay work
there.
is Black Cat, man.
Yeah,
Still.
mine too. So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't like the direction they went with her, and they're so stubborn. To keep them away from each other. Her, Mary Jane and Peter Parker.
Oh, I'm not a fan of them ever breaking up Peter and MJ. The comics are best when they're together, always.
Yeah.
And every writer, we're going to do something different. Oh, let me guess. Are you going to break up Peter and MJ? Shocker.
And it's funny because people didn't like the Nick Spencer run, right?
Right.
He spent a lot of time trying to get them back together, trying to build that again, and he actually did that in that series.
Nobody gives a shit about Paul. Okay, get rid of him.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Eric,
that's who MJ's kind of with. I think his name's Paul. I don't know. I care so little about him. I don't give a shit.
Every time someone says that name, I'm like la 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 la. You know?
He needs a tragic death.
Oh man, but yeah, man, like that's what Marvel does, man. Because it started with Quesada, man, and then he left, and people thought, all right, they're gonna finally, nope. Like, we're gonna do what he does, come on.
I wonder who the next writer is gonna be that they get on Spider-Man that people actually care about.
Joe Kelly.
They haven't been batting very well. I'm sorry, what?
Joe Kelly's gonna write the.
Does that give you confidence?
No confidence, no.
Because I've never read him. I don't know anything about him as a writer.
I like some of his stuff.
Okay.
But he's still part of the old school Quesada days. That whole One More Day stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. When they were still screwing up.
So was Zeb Wells. So they're loyal, and then Marvel's gonna be like, do this, and then they're gonna be like puppets. You know what I mean? So
right.
Yeah, I think that book's biggest enemy is its editorial office, and it's like all the hands in the pot. It's way too many hands on the honey pot, and too many people steering this direction. And I think no matter who you put on that, but at one time I really wanted to see Donny Cates. Like Donny Cates always said, "I'm never leaving Marvel until I get to write Spidey," and I was like excited for that. And then we got into the Spencer area, and then like all this, and I just feel like it's gotten battered around, and it just like the baton keeps getting passed from one to the next.
But I think Donny Cates wanted to do that Marvel didn't want no part of that, and it's probably
I'm sure it was super radical and crazy, but at the same time, I feel like that's what the title needs. It needs a complete reinvention, and
well, I just think it needs to take him back to being a neighborhood hero.
Yeah. But
we still want to see Peter's life. Right? Everything doesn't have to be a struggle. We can see him have a career again.
No, for sure.
That's why I always say, like, man, he's going back to that. Oh my God, he never learned his lesson. Come on, after all these years, like, come on, he's gonna do that again.
And they need to really delve into his brain too, because he's one of the premier brains in the Marvel universe. Like he's not Mr. Fantastic level, but he
can help.
I mean, we're talking about a teenage kid that developed web fluid in shooters.
And he's very smart. He could go get the money. He's not gonna be broke all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
No matter how much he messes stuff up. You know what I mean? Come on. So I think Marvel should just let him grow up and
be happy a little bit.
We have a young Spider-Man now. We got Miles. He fills that role perfectly.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. You could definitely have like a Batman Beyond situation with them.
Yeah.
Where Bruce Wayne is the mentor of I forgot the Batman Beyond's name, but same dynamic.
And I want a Spider-Man movie where he's an adult. I don't want to see his origin every 3 films. All right, make him an adult already. Make him teaching at Empire State University and having to juggle his career with his marriage with MJ and being Spidey. With her in his corner though, helping him, because that series always works best with MJ is his support when he's getting the crap beat out of him, and he knows that when he gets home, MJ has his back.
Yeah, I love what Fable said about the Batman Beyond situation. I think really the sky is the limit when you have a younger Miles taking on all those young adolescent problems, and you have an older Peter, and like you could have those two cross titles, cross
Right.
storylines. Like the possibilities are endless, and I think they should embrace that old/young dynamic and really do something new with the title.
Right, because I mean, I thought the whole point of Miles Morales is you have a new Spider-Man for the younger generation.
Right.
So let the other
Exactly.
Spider-Man grow the fuck up already.
Yeah, seriously though, seriously.
Uh,
Like I tell the story all the time, but I was pulling out. I always pull out like there's this Wizard magazine I have from like '94, and it's about naming MJ and Peter's baby. And of course they never let
Right.
it was a contest Marvel was having. Of course they never let that come to fruition. Peter ended up smacking her across the room when she was pregnant, and she never had the baby. But it's just like they've never let that man be happy. Like let him have a little bit of
and Peter would never hit MJ. That's like
right. It was just so out of character.
Don't write out of character moments for your heroes just to make them shocking.
But apparently, it literally turned into a case of pass the buck in the editorial office, where like who is going to have to do this.
Right, it's like when they tried to pull the rug out from under us too. And the Peter Parker we have always known since AF-15 has always been a clone. Just no, don't do that shit.
Yeah,
you ruin your whole fan base with that.
Seriously,
like that was revolted against so bad they had to reverse that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was insane. That was. And
I'm sorry, number 10, Herm. Man, we can't shut this guy up.
I'm sorry.
It's all lost. It's all lost.
So
rabbit holes are so easy to go down. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Herm.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. I understand. So it was hard to have a number 10 because I had two, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put one down. Maybe in the future I'll show it. But I had to show this one because he's slowly becoming one of my favorite writers too, and almost anything he does I like. Fable shows some of his stuff on his show, so I felt like I'm gonna show this one. I haven't read this particular book, but I read the first 3 omnibuses of the whole run. But of course, I'm calling about Invincibles. You know what I mean?
Yes, bro.
So Invincibles. When I tell people telling me it's probably gonna be your favorite superhero story ever, like reading it, and I'm like, no way, there's no way. I've read it, and I was like, yo, they weren't kidding. All 3 omnibuses. I mean, it was actually compendiums, but and I can't wait to dig into this one. This was the side stories and stuff like this with I keep forgetting her name. Adam Eve. Thank you. I read it in the back. Adam Eve, one of my favorite characters in the book, and I love the story with her and Invincible. So and then the show is phenomenal. I've still got to finish the 2nd season, but it is so good. And I felt like Robert Kirkman,
So good.
Walking Dead. He's doing Void Rivals now. I'm freaking loving it.
Yeah.
So I had to show at least the old school stuff with him.
Right,
And
nice.
of course the back and all that. So that's not my number 10. Show him
And
some
side
love.
stories are cool. I like when you get little. I like the little side stories. Like I like like they did it like in Silver Sable, right? Where you'd have like the main story and then they do a mini story in the back. I always love that stuff.
Yeah. I love reading. A lot of people complain about them, but I don't. I like reading the extra stuff, in any of them. And then this right here, you like all the side characters. You know what I mean? Like their version of the Justice League is Teen Titans is funny. You know what I mean? That's what him and her was a part of for a little while. And,
Yeah.
I freaking love it, man. That's what else can I say? You know what I mean? So I had to show some nice collector's edition version there. So that's my 10 right there.
Nice. A good 10.
Incredible, bro.
We got there.
Thank you.
Amazing.
We got through that.
So now 11 with a personal story attached.
Yeah.
Extended personal story.
They all did. They all, And what's funny is I had a total of like 20. I had to put it down to 10. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what took me so long because I came out of work late and like I told my wife, oh my God, I'm not gonna be ready for Gary, man. I'm not gonna be late. I got it done, but but that's my 10. So what are we doing next on the
personal story?
Yeah, usually usually the 11th is a personal storybook where you tell something that has like a personal attachment to you, like extended one. like you got it from someone special, or it helped you through a part. It's just something more personal. So a book with a very personal story to it.
It's funny you say that because I already had a couple of them on some of the ones I showed.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty much my whole thing.
For sure.
See, now I know Herm's never watched an episode. He had no idea what the that is.
I have, because I saw Fables, I saw Stews. You know what I mean? So, but
you don't gotta lie to placate them. They're big boys. They'll get over it. Like me, they got the tissue.
Yeah, my episode had wrapped up. My episode had wrapped up like 20 minutes by now. You know what I mean? Like I was in and out.
It's okay if you don't have another one, Herm. We're just picking on you now.
That's good. I have another one. This was actually part of my origin story, but I was like, might as well show it too. But as a kid, I always loved Spider-Man. Somehow I was just gravitated towards him. Of course, Spider-Man, Amazing Friends. Whenever my cousin used to put it on, I was glued. I was little one. I was like 1 year old when that show came out, or something like that. Or, all the other ones I wasn't born. But one of my mom's friends knew I liked, anything like that, superheroes and stuff, and she gave him a bag of comic books.
Oh wow!
So I could learn how to read better, because she wanted me to learn how to read, because I was struggling with my reading when I was growing up, and of course I'm coming from a Hispanic family. She wanted me just to learn English, talk English, and all that. You know what I mean? So that's my first language, because she made sure that was my first language. I learned how to talk Spanish through talking to my grandma.
Oh, cool.
That's another story, another day for another day. Right? But I had to tell that because this is a big part of it. When I was going to my grandma's house, she had that bag of comics in my grandma's house as a surprise. When I went there, it was a book of maybe 100 books or something like that, 80 books raw right there. And when I pulled out my first issue, it was this one right here.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
The big Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 166. And when I first saw it, I was just like, wow. I was looking at the two monsters in the back. You know what I mean? And I was just like, how the hell is Spider-Man's going to get through that? You know what I mean?
That's a great cover.
It is.
Yeah. And I was like, I had to show this one. It's not the longest story, but it's pretty much catapulted my life in comics and stuff like that. It became one of my favorites.
I miss single issue stories these days. I think it's okay to do single issue self-contained stories. Not everything has to be a greater arc.
No, some of my favorite my very favorite comics are just one and dones.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, the era where my favorite Spider-Man artist of all time is John Romita Sr. I don't want to talk about his son, but John Romita.
Come on, what's wrong with JR?
No, don't do it.
We're not going to go down. Look, he's
okay. All right.
I don't dislike him as a human. I like his early art. I just don't like his. I don't
like the blocky.
I don't like block art.
You don't like the blocky. All right,
yeah,
fair enough.
It always takes me out of the story. Like I'm like jarring when I look at it. And that's Andrew Ross on the cover of Bobby Daly.
Andrew Ross. Yeah, I was trying to remember the name. I was like, I can't remember. Bobby always has my back.
I liked Ross Andrew art on Spider-Man too. Like John Romita Sr. was my favorite, but Ross Andrew was really understated with how much he did for Spider-Man.
Right.
And Sal Buscema too.
Sal Buscema. Yeah.
I mean, Web and Spectacular were great, and they didn't get enough love.
Fantastic. Yeah, they were great.
Web. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love collecting all of them. I have them all. Like when I came back, I make sure I got all those issues because they're phenomenal. And I got a brain fart right now, but Bobby was saying this is a Christmas issue. Yeah, this is a Christmas issue too. So like every time I look for a Christmas issue and someone, boom, I'm gonna put this one.
Yeah, Bobby probably has that signed by everybody. So
I'm sure
he probably does. He probably does. I probably wanted the one thing. I'm not big on slabs. I couldn't find mine, or I would have showed a few of them. I only have like 6, and I want to get this one slabbed or something like that. It's the only one I'll probably send out. This one because it was my first one I grabbed.
Right.
I grabbed a couple. What happened?
I said, yeah, right, because it's got that sentimental value. You just
Yeah.
just save it and encapsulate it and make sure it's safe.
Yeah, yeah. It's not this particular one because I lost the particular one, which part of my origin story for a future show. But the Sabi Seaman, I mean that's the one you John Romita Senior.
Right?
When I did a reread on the omnibuses and stuff like that, I love Dicko stuff, Lee and Dicko stuff, but Lee and Ramita's arc, my favorite one out of all the ones I read.
Oh, nice.
I just enjoy the heck out of it. It was like reading Spider-Man meets Archie. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it made Peter cooler, a little bit cooler, and brought the
College,
ladies in,
the
and
ladies,
yeah,
all that, all
You know,
in. And
one of
then,
the covers that always stuck out to me too was the one with him and JJ on it when they're attached with that thing.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and they gotta work together, and it's just them arguing like for most of the comic.
I'm trying to remember the issue number now.
Yeah,
Bobby
But
probably
that
got my
cover
back.
that cover always stuck out to
Bobby
me as a
cover.
kid, so I've always remembered it.
I usually have all the issue numbers right now, but like I said, once I go live, I forget everything. But
I do that too, Herm.
but definitely had to show this one as my story. You know, got me into comics. There was other comics in there. The Marvel team up with the lion on it. I keep forgetting that character's
The
name.
Griffin.
Yeah, Griffin. That was in there. There were a lot of Rom comics. I know you love Rom. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, I have that whole run.
Yeah, yeah. There was a lot.
That's a great read, beginning to end.
The first one I pulled out, you might know the number. It's the one with all the spiders in front of it, stuff like that. He's like, oh,
I don't.
You
There
don't?
was a couple good horror covers on ROM though for a sci-fi book.
I felt like I
They-
had all of them in that bag because horror. He was going through a lot of.
yeah, I haven't read that
changes
series
in
in a
those
couple
issues.
years. I should
Yeah.
take it back out and reread it again.
Yeah, I had a lot of those. I had a lot of Conan the Barbarians in there.
There you go. Good
I don't
man.
have them anymore, but I had a lot
All
of
right,
those.
you're taking away that status right now.
You were doing so well, and then you lost.
There was
it
a
or something.
reason, though. There was a reason. Like I said, in a future show, I'm gonna explain why I don't have them anymore. You know what I mean? And of course, the Todd McFarlane cover, which I can't find no more. It's too expensive.
Oh my god.
I had that one. That one was given to me because a lot of times, my people will know. My mom will tell people I love comic books and I love reading them, and they'll be happy about that, and they will give her comics to give to me. So
Nice.
I was really lucky because my mom did what she can, but she was a single mom, you know what I mean, taking care of me.
Right.
So she got me whatever I wanted, but you know, there are times where we couldn't get everything, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the way she did it, man. And the people just used to just comic books.
But you know, the greatest thing
games.
about that Herm is it really creates an appreciation in you when you get stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, people that, and I don't begrudge them, but people that can just get stuff when they want it all the time, they don't always have the appreciation for what they have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, like when you have to struggle and get something, sometimes it creates an appreciation that'll never go away.
Yeah.
Amen, bro.
And I always appreciate it. I always appreciate my mom. She's probably watching right now. I love you, Mom. She got me whatever. She tried her hardest to give me whatever I wanted to make me happy. And you know, I'm grateful for her, you know what I mean? It kept me off the streets, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I lived in Brooklyn. I don't know, you know, not too different from the Bronx, right? Right, Fable? At the time. Now it's like Yuppie Island over there, but at least where my mom lived.
You know, I often forget, like a lot of people that I meet in this community, they grew up reading these Marvel comics and these DC comics and stuff, and we it's our city that they're talking about in these.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But a lot of people never been here, or you know, so their view of our city came from these books. You know what I mean? And sometimes that goes over my head when we talk about these things.
Oh yeah. And a lot of times when I lived in Florida for a few years, they would think like, "Oh my God, you lived in Brooklyn? Oh my God, Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, you see me right now. I'm okay. It's not like you walk out the door and you get mugged. You know what I mean?
And no one that's not from New York doesn't realize how big New York State is. They think everything is right next to New York City.
Right.
It's like, dude, New York City's 8 hours away from me. I've been through there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys, we're not all just piggybacking off each other. New York is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York is humongous, and the city's humongous. This is a big city. So, like Faber lives all the way on the other side of the Bronx. I live all on the other side of Queens. You would think we would see each other more, but it's hard, man. You know what I mean? Life gets in the way, man. But
Fable's dodging skills are up there, huh?
What happened?
Fable's dodging skills are up there, huh? Oh shit, is that her? He just disappears in the background. Was that Simpsons meme with like Homer going into the bushes? Well, all right. So now we got to end it with your spec pick, sir.
I had two of them, but I put it down to one because you
better not bring out Spider Boy, bro.
No.
I did not. Warning.
I did not do that. This one I thought it was a spec book because we're gonna see both of them in the MCU pretty soon. So I was like, might as well bring it out. Sardesky's X-Men.
Yo,
nice.
X-Men and Fantastic Four team up right here.
That was such a great series.
Yeah.
It got cut short because of COVID, really, but
yeah. But I had a hard time finding a spec book, and I saw this. I'm like, I could show this. So this is definitely gonna be a spec book. People are gonna be wanting this one. You know what I mean? But you have Kitty Pryde, not Kate Pryde. You know what I'm saying? Everybody kept calling her Kate Pryde, but you know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoy the series and stuff like that. So I might as well. I love the X-Men, my favorite team of comics. So why not? And
it's gonna be
with my favorite family. You know what I mean? So all in one book.
Because I wonder if they're gonna do the same thing with the X-Men that they're doing with the FF, like bring them in during that era, because they're making the FF like a '60s show, right?
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool if they brought the X-Men in at that time too.
Absolutely, that would be super.
Finally, some X-Men. Jesus Christ, I was waiting.
Well, that's why I showed the shirt. You know what I mean? My favorite one of my favorite covers.
Yo, that's a great cover.
Yeah, I have that cover somewhere. I couldn't find it, so I just wear the shirt. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, John was hoping you were going to pull out the first appearance of Fisto, but he'll go with the.
Yeah.
And that is a wrap right there.
Yeah.
Great
stuff,
job,
bro. Good stuff.
Now,
thank you.
I do want to plug, while we got all of us here, that next Thursday, Herm's on the 1011, where it's gonna be his interview show. So all those stories he's alluding to, we'll be hearing about next Thursday. Now, Herm, the thing with next Thursday is I don't think I'm working Friday. I know my schedule's about to change, but usually I don't work Friday, so it's like, we can go as long as we want.
Yeah, don't encourage him, Gary. Don't encourage
Yeah, I'm
him.
about to say, Jesus, Gary, you're gonna be fucking up till 1 a.m., dude.
John, everyone remembers their first.
Well, I'll probably take a nap before that show because I actually work the next day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, everything's about to change for me next week with work, so I'll see what's happening.
Yeah.
But I'll probably still keep you on a long time, so don't get too excited. You know what I
Right?
mean?
But no, great episode, Herm. It was actually nice to actually meet you. So thank you for coming on. You're someone I've wanted to get on the show for a while. So thank you. It was a lot of fun, dude. But we'll go around. We'll do what we normally do. We'll see what everyone's got coming up. So Stu, we'll start with you.
Yeah, man. Catch me on Dr. Doom Sin Club on YouTube and IG, talking about comics all the time. Comics I love, comics, that I want to celebrate, all that good stuff. I will be on Blood Splatter Chatter this Thursday night, talking about Red Dragon with my homies Fable, Link, and Verno. Friday, we got an interview coming up with the homies Nick and E that'll be out sometime next week or the week or two. So I'm excited to film that and let y'all see that. But other than that, yeah, man, just look out for me on Horror Fest across PCP and Blood Splatter Chatter, and I don't know, a couple other things couple other cool things coming up in the next month or two that are kind of formulating right now. But yeah, thanks for having me on, Herm. Great episode, brother. So much better than mine. I thought,
No,
dude, it
you
was
guys are
I had
incredible.
fun with
No,
yours,
no,
man.
dude,
Come
it
on.
was. I love your energy, bro. You're always such a
Thank
positive
you.
presence. So it was a joy to spend some screen time with you.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much,
so
man.
Yeah,
I
man.
will go next, and then we'll do Fable and then Herm. So what I got coming up is in 2 nights' time, we have Disney Comics on with his latest promotion for his Kickstarter. So we'll have Brandon on then, and after that on Friday we have the kindness stream with me, Gore, Robert at the Comic Book G Spot, and John's Comics with Kids. So look forward to that. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, blame Gary and his casual friends.
Gary, when is that again? I want to make sure I'm tuning in for that. When is
Friday
the
night.
kindness stream?
This
night?
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're doing 7. I gotta check. And but next week, of course, we got Herm and we got Biggie Shat doing a 10-1-1 on wrestling comics next Tuesday.
Oh,
So
okay.
that'll be fun.
Oh
Right,
yeah.
and Fable,
That's
what's
gonna
coming
check
up for
that.
you, sir?
Of course, like my brother Stu said, catch me on Blood Splatter Chatter, where we're doing PCP Horror Fest, our annual horror movie festival that we do for 2 months, and we review over 50 horror movies. So I'll probably be there Thursday doing that. Catch me on a future 10-1-1 with Gary, where we're going to be doing some action figures. We're just talking about that. You know, we'll keep you in
Yeah.
tune with that. And one thing I want to point everybody to is Blaine Fable and his amazing friends will be coming out of hiatus on October 5th. That's a Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, as we join the Comics Curing Cancer 3-day virtual live event where we
Hell
raise
yeah.
money for the American Cancer Society. I'm so proud that me and Nick and the crew are getting to do that and auction off some books. We're going to have some great things to give away for that stream. So come check us out October 5th, 5 p.m. Eastern, Comics Curing Cancer. Blaine Fable and his amazing friends edition, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I forgot to plug mine. Yeah, so October 4th, we're gonna have Boss Kong on. So if you guys haven't seen his art, it's amazing. He's gonna be working on some live pieces while we're going there. I'll of course have my buddy Dan from Out of the Panel Comics on, and we'll be doing that. And you know, we'll see if a couple other people want to join the stream, but we're gonna probably try to auction off some stuff we're changing the format this year, so we're still in the planning stages, me, Dan, and Boss Kong, but it's gonna be fun, hopefully. So Herm, what's coming up for you, sir?
Well, I've been on hiatus for a couple of months, but I'm coming back. And you say you have Brandon Ingram on your show. My first show back will be with Brandon Ingram on October 6th, 3
Nice.
p.m. East on Sunday. That Sunday, we're gonna talk about Gallus Man 3. So every time he comes with a new Kickstarter, he hits me up, and then we'll do a show. So he was my first creator interview, and this I don't think fifth, sixth time I have him on. So it's awesome. I enjoy his Kickstarters and stuff. So that'll be my first show back, and then of course the one everybody wants me to come back with my man Prime Time Tom, who was in the house just now, and we're gonna go back to the Zebwell run so we can finish it. Cause a lot of people was like, "Oh, you still gonna do that?" Yes, we're gonna do all
Yes,
of them.
sir.
So I forgot which issue we were up to, but I'm gonna have to go back and do research on that. But that's coming back in October. So the Big Herm show with Primetime Tom, Amazing Spider-Man, coming back in October. Look for it. Of course, I would promote it a little more this time. I was a little bad at that towards the end of our last season. I like Fable likes calling them seasons now. So
All right.
so that's pretty much what I have. I think I have one more thing somewhere, but oh yeah, my show with you next week. I can't wait,
Yeah,
Thursday.
next
So
Thursday. Yep, the 10-1-1. I mean the in the hot seat.
in the
We'll
hot
just see
seat.
it.
So
You don't have to bring anything, just an interview show.
all right, all right. I'll probably still bring something, but
It's okay, you can.
yeah, I can't wait for that, man. Actually, that one will probably be a little more smooth because this one was just a lot of like anxiety trying to get the right what do I show and give a good show because I think everybody deserves to see a good show. You know.
Right. And of course, just one more time, we're going to mention this show's ending. Head on over to Circumstances, FOC and Chill, and check him out. He should be live right now, I think, or just going live. Usually he's 9:30. So please go check out our good buddy Marcus and enjoy his content.
Oh yeah.
And
Station, bro.
I want to thank the audience. We had a great audience tonight. Thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. The show is more fun with a good chat and a lot of great people in there. Thank you so much for joining us and playing along with us. And to our buddy Nick's Kicks and Comics, we hope you're feeling better.
Hey,
Get
yo!
better, sir. Yeah, so we mentioned him at the beginning. Hope Nick's back on the way to feeling better. And again, rest in peace, Mr. James Earl Jones, one of the icons.
Yeah.
And until next time, keep it casual.